With the papers we have coming up through the term, I thought that I would give you a short video on research and using scholarly journals because that is one item that is you are graded on per your grading rubric. You may also elect to do this type of research for blogging purposes. Say you're writing about social media marketing and you need to add some support for the thoughts that you're presenting within the blog post, you could use this research as well. Obviously, at the end of your blog post, you would not have a reference listing and in-text citations. Instead, you would have hyperlinks embedded within your post. But for the purposes of this video, we will be talking about a paper. So when I'm talking about scholarly articles, I want you to use my SNHE page and go to your library. And again, this is just going to be a quick overview. The library has many tutorials you can watch to help you learn the basics of research. But simply here, I'm going to go ahead and put in quotation marks because I want to look at social media marketing as a whole and brand loyalty as a whole, not just simply the words by themselves. I want brand loyalty together and social media marketing together. So I'm going to search and we will have some articles pop up. We will likely want to narrow them down to scholarly and peer-reviewed. That simply means that they are in a journal that has been reviewed by peers. Excuse me, the article is reviewed by peers before it's published. So if I were going to write an article for one of these journals, it would be presented to other peers within this particular industry, and it has to be approved before it can be printed within the journal. So that ensures it's very rigorous and not just somebody's opinion put on paper. So we've narrowed it down to scholarly and peer-reviewed. Obviously, you'll see some of these names, Journal of Business, Journal of Marketing. These are what we're talking about with scholarly and peer-reviewed journals. So it's great if you're writing your paper and you're using some blogs and your textbooks and the books we have in the class, but at least include one scholarly article per page of written work to really support your ideas and give your paper a backbone rather than just simply presenting your opinion and other people's opinions. We also have the ability to narrow down through here. And then over here within the publication date. With social media, we might want to make it a little bit newer. However, if you're going to go back to the basics of marketing, maybe at the beginning of your paper to kind of set the stage, you'll want seminal research, which it may be something from 50 years ago when marketing was being researched. And maybe it's a concept that's been around and is one of the basic principles of marketing, then it would probably not be a very new article. I have a video on what to do once you've found some of these articles. They are written in such a way that they're not fun to read, in my opinion. They're a little dry. But there are certain places you'll go within the article to find what you want to put in your paper. Statistics, facts, findings. And then at the end, they have a great reference page that if this particular article that you're looking at has a lot to do with your topic, then you'll go to the end and see what references they use, and you can likely look them up within the library as well.
It's a little cheat sheet right here. I'll add it to my Pinterest page and send you the link in discussion if you guys want it. But first you're going to look at the abstract. It's kind of a summary of the article. And here's my article right here. This top section will be your abstract. Looking at this, I can kind of decide which way the article is kind of going to go. I want to make sure that this article is going to be relevant. So first I'm going to highlight it. I want to look for a discussion and conclusion, which is again all the way at the end, as you would think it would be. And this is just kind of a quick way to even check further if it's going to be relevant before you go through my other steps. So this article is quite lengthy. So you see discussion, and sometimes you see discussion and conclusion. It's towards the end of the paper. Maybe skim over that and make sure, again, the article is relevant. Sometimes you'll find some things within here that you're going to use in your paper and then cite it. Use the in-text citation. Each heading, we're going to look at introduction, findings. Findings is probably my favorite portion of a scholarly article because that's where you get kind of like the meat of the paper. It might give you percentages and the actual findings of this research, which, right here, the findings will be definitely something that you can use in your paper. Say you wanted to say that red cars sell faster than blue cars, and somebody did a study, and they found right there that 50% of the time, yada, 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 it's going to give you the statistics right there. You go ahead and put it in your article and cite this particular article that you found it from. Graphs, sometimes folks want to look at the visual detail of how the research was done, and then the references list. So at the very bottom of my paper, you'll see all of the references that this person used in their paper, and it's quite extensive. As you're reading inside the article and you see something cited and you want to know more information about that particular thing, it's going to be listed in here and you can go find it. Sometimes I have a hard time finding the sources that are going to work for my paper, so sometimes I'll go in here and maybe specifically find one that has something to do with exactly my topic. Just give me some direction and I'll find this article. This is just a random article that I pulled off of the internet that has something to do with marketing. I didn't even read the title. Brand community, okay, and it came from the Journal of Marketing. So, yeah, Journal of Marketing, nice academic journal. Try to keep your sources a little bit newer than that, maybe in the past 3 years. Hopefully that's been somewhat helpful for you. Again, I'll share this within the class to give you some sort of direction. I know when I started my doctoral work, if somebody would have gave this to me to tape on my desk with a highlighter, I would have saved so much more time in reading scholarly articles to help write my papers.
So I know some of you may not see the point in researching and academic writing given your careers, but it is a requirement within the courses that you do this. Of course, see the grading rubric, but also within your careers when you are presenting ideas or presenting plans, doing a little research and backing it up with some scholarly articles written by folks who have researched these topics extensively will really add to your argument. I've had several students who have made presentations at work or created social media marketing plans, and part of that comes with coming up with some case studies and relevant research that directly relates to what you're presenting or what you're writing about. It doesn't all have to be research that supports your idea. It can be research that counters your idea as well. And that's kind of we want to represent both sides and then as well offer an analysis or a synthesis of what we are writing. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask within the general forum. Thank you.